Hey everyone, it's Ale. Welcome to the Sanctum. So today we're going to talk a little bit about tarot. Um, Big reason why I haven't really touched much on it is I know that there are multiple people on YouTube who do nothing but specialize in tarot, and there are many people out there who do things on oracles. I work with both tarot and oracles. Oracles are um, a little bit more what I lean towards, specifically since I seem to pick them up easier, um, in the sense that they are intuitively attuned to me. Take that as you will. But tarot is a little bit different. Takes a little bit more study, takes a little bit more effort. So I wanted to show you a bit of my tarot decks, two of my tarot decks actually. I'm not going to show you all of them because that could take a while. So I wanted to show you my work deck, and then I wanted to show you the deck I actually was learning from. Basically, it's my carry to whenever I go out anywhere deck. So what I started out with, as you can see here, is, let me pull this back a little bit here, this is called the Tarot Box. It says Learn How to Read the Cards by Juliet Sharman Burke. Actually, and this was actually the very first tarot that I actually learned on. And when you open it up, it actually has a little bit of pieces that you put together to basically be able to do a reading. So it's kind of a pretty cool thing to do. And then it came with a book, of course, and then it also came with the cards. Now, the cards, sorry about that. These cards are small. And I mean, by small, I mean like they're tiny. They're like maybe 2.5 inches by about 1.5 inches. So I mean, this is literally my carry deck. I put it in a small organza bag, and this deck goes with me. And as you can tell, the reason why it's a deck I learned on is that, as you can probably see here, they have the meanings written on the side. That's how I literally learned how to do it. As I went through and put on a brief how to remember for AL. And that's basically how I went ahead and did this all. And I like the fact that because of the way that the cards looked, it made it simpler and easier for me. So yeah, some of them have it on both sides, most of them have it on one, and then I got to a point where I got like over halfway through the deck, and then I got to this point where I said, I pretty much kind of get it. I probably will end up finishing putting the definitions on for the rest of the cards, because now that I have gotten I had gotten the first half done, now I kind of feel like I left it out. So that is the deck that I basically taught myself how to do tarot on. And the book is really cute, and I actually like referring to it every so often, because one of the nice things about this little bit, well, first off, besides it's portable, and it actually has the little definitions, is it tells you key issues. And it's very brief and to the point. The other thing is that it tells you the symbolism, and then it'll tell you what it is in a reading and how that'll go. Now, one thing it doesn't go into reversals in this book, which in a way when you first start is great. But I first learned tarot with my grandfather, although I didn't realize it at the time, which is kind of funny. When I got this deck, I realized, wait a minute, my grandfather had these cards, but they were different. So that is I actually learned reversals from him. So this deck, when I first bought it, was my deck to learn on, because I hadn't basically dealt with tarot for years by that point. That I started back up. It probably been about 10 years, maybe 15. Now this is the deck that I use this is my workhorse deck. This is the Gilded Tarot, it's digitally rendered by Ciro Marchetti, and I love his stuff, by the way. I adore his decks, and I want to own every one of them. Like, seriously, Ciro, if you see this, please, because we don't live that far. We live in the same state. Uh, be be I adore your work. Like this is Temperance. I mean, look at that. Oh, the Queen of Swords. This rendering of the Queen of Swords is probably one of my all-time favorite renderings of the Queen of Swords ever. Although the Tarot of Dreams is like one of the other ones I truly adore. The World, which is like simply amazing. Let's see, where's the other one? Oh, here we go. The Page of Cups. And I love the fact that the colors tell you what to look for. You know, what it tells you what element it's part of, which to me is it's very helpful when you're reading and you're doing something and you could just, because he includes it on the actual element itself, like in Pentacle, so you see the green and it's green there, and then look at the element, and then all of the keys are all with the black, like the Emperor. And just look at that design work. That is amazing. And then you have the Ace of Wands. Look at those. And the aces, I'll be honest, the aces are remarkable. I've always had a thing for aces and card playing. If you had ever met my grandfather, he will have told you I am the Ace of Spades collector. Whenever they would find an Ace of Spades missing in a deck of cards, they would come find me. No joke. Because I would hoard them. I would blame U.S. Games for this, because 10 to 1 that they are the guilty party. Them and Bicycle. So yeah. The Eight of Swords. This rendering of the Eight of Swords is truly magnificent because you can just tell the meaning just by the look on the cards themselves. It's truly amazing. The other thing is like there is a card in here, the Two of Cups. This card is stunning. The magnificence of not only the beauty of it, but the meaning is so there. The balance, the way that everything is equalized on the deck, on the card itself. The symmetry there is just perfection. And that is what is all about in regards to the meaning. So it's so easy to tell. So one of the things that I do when I do readings, whether it be at oraclealchemy.com or even on my own site, alexander.com, is I sit there and I've turned around with my decks, whether it be the oracle cards or the tarot. It is like for our usual weekly 3 cards, like the Eight of Cups. Ooh, the Five of Cups. Ooh, and the Five of Swords. And a friend of mine asked me once, like, so do you go by the strict definitions or do you go more intuitive? And the honest answer is I go by a combination of what I've learned and how I've always done the cards. So like, I know like this is 18, combination is 9, 9's, the numerology 9 number in regards to it. So, but the other thing I look at is he's walking away from these cards, from all the cups, leaving them behind. Some of them are filled, some of them are empty. The Five of Cups, he's praying for help. It's upside down in reverse, so yes. Five of Swords, he's got one sword lifted up, the rest are underneath his arm, he's holding on, and he's on a battlefield. Look at the people who are there behind him. Glory to the man who's collected all the swords. So you're looking at the fact that you're leaving behind all of the overly ambition, over the over, basically over the overindulgence that you've done. You know, at one point you felt lost. You didn't know what to do. Things were out of control. So that's right now in your present. You're working on getting over that part. It's no more. You've quit all that. You're working to a new part, new revelation in your life. And now with the Five of Swords, which is what we're looking forward in the coming week, is the fact of basically being the one, the collector of the swords, the being able to step forward in glory, in happiness. So we're working towards that happier tomorrow, which is good because I found out after being in the hospital, I have severe diverticulitis right now. So I was suffering and didn't realize it. So yeah, simple, easy techniques that you can learn. We'll go over a little bit more about those probably in the upcoming weeks. But I wanted to do that. Yes, I am on Instagram under both Oracle Alchemy and under my name, A.L. Xander. So you can find me there. I'm also on Twitter, as you probably know, if you haven't seen me by now on there. But yeah, come join me. Come join me on my website. Have some fun. So definitely, like I said, these are the two decks, my learner's deck and my go-to everyday, oh my god, gotta work deck. Simple, easy tarot, nothing major to deal with. Are there other decks that are probably more beautiful, more efficient, more true to the Rider-Waite system? Yeah, and I have a couple of those. But are there ones that can let me feel that on a fly when I just need to go with the system and just put my consciousness out into the cards and let everything flow? Just let it go and go with what has to be done when it comes to a reading. This deck, and occasionally on times that deck is the deck that I will pull first off. Why? Because I don't have to think. I don't have to worry about misinterpreting anything because I've worked with both decks for so long, which is great. And that's the biggest thing is if you have a deck that you worked with for long enough that you basically, I would say no upside down, inside out, because it just feels good in your hand. And you know, the moment you get that certain card, you go, oh, it's going to be like that, is it? You know that's the deck that you, in the long haul, when you're blocked on any other deck, that's the deck you're going to pick up and go, you know what, I got to work with this deck. This deck is going to be the only way that I'm going to get any answers that I really need to work with. So yeah, don't hesitate. Get yourself a workhorse deck. Whether it be an RWS deck, whether it be a Thoth deck, whether it be like a Mary Greer Tarot deck, the Robin Wood deck, which is awesome. I can't say enough good things about any of those. So definitely take yourself into the idea, expand out. Even if you get a variation on the theme, it's worth it. I don't know what I would do without these decks. Although I will tell you, after watching a Benebell, when YouTube episode, I may end up having to inscribe a couple of things onto a couple of my cards. It was interesting because I've been reading the Holistic Tarot and taking a course of hers, and I've been learning a lot more and realized, you know, my workhorse deck could use a little bit more flair for purposes for me, not for anybody else, but being able to be a little bit more thorough. So yeah, that may end up happening on both decks. So all right, until next time, Benedithian.